Tough Monday for everybody. Not a manic Monday, just a sad, no moral victory Monday. Welcome to the Greg Hill Show. Courtney in for Greg for, we think, 2 hours. I think he'll be joining us from San Francisco in 2 hours. We've got Curtis. We've got Wiggy back from San Francisco. Shime, real life Tom in the booth. But 29-13, the Patriots fall to the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. And that score, I hate even giving it because it was not that close if you actually watch the game.
No. You're saying it was closer than what the score is.
No.
Really?
I think the opposite.
Really?
Oh, my God.
It feels like they lost by 50 points.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I felt like that game was like super close.
Oh,
in the sense of the score.
Right, I'm saying that score does not reflect what the actual game was. I felt like
that's why I agree with you.
Okay, yeah. So we're saying the same thing.
Yeah. When you said it wasn't as close as it was, that to me that game was your defense was spectacular.
Yes,
that was a game where if you had any offense, maybe it's probably a different outcome. Your defense did everything that they could possibly do. Right until the what was it? It was the fumble. Right until the fumble where
the sack fumble.
Yeah, the sack fumble. But even then, the defense held them to a field goal and made it 22 or to 7 or some point like that. But I just felt like, man, I was happy with the defense, the offense. Drake Maye. Will Campbell, Josh McDaniels.
Will Campbell, guys. I'm sorry. I understand he's coming back from an injury, but when he was out, we didn't look that bad. And it's almost like, do you pull him? Like, that's where I was at a certain point. It's not just like, who are you going to put in there? I'm like, I don't know anybody. He was getting absolutely worked the entire game, and I don't want to put it all on him. I don't want to put it all on Drake. There's no excuses. Like, this offense looked atrocious.
Yeah.
They had no answers, start to finish.
Right.
And I don't know, what frustrated me the most watching that game is all season long we were beating the drum of Drake Maye. Even if he starts off tough, he does not let it rattle him. He does not let it spiral him.
Right.
He looked rattled yesterday. He wasn't playing loose at all.
I have to say, I am shook by how he looked yesterday. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear about Will. We do want to talk about Will Campbell. It's a huge part of the game.
Yep.
As it pertains to Drake Maye, I don't want to hear about it. There were wide open guys he missed. Mm-hmm. The interception he threw, when you were actually, want to say, was sort of the game.
It was at that point, it was 19-17.
And you're driving, I think you were at least midfield.
Yes.
I don't know, right around there.
Yeah, you were a little, you
got intercepted
you're probably about your own 35, 40-yard line,
right,
somewhere in there.
So it's 19-7.
Yep.
You get a touchdown there.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Yep.
5-point
The defense was playing phenomenally.
Yep.
The interception was bad.
That was Mac Jones's, you can't tell me Mac Jones doesn't have the same or a better performance yesterday than Drake Maye did.
Oh,
he was awful. And there's no emotion. There's no anything. He looked like he lost a bet. Like, what are you guys doing?
Well, in the beginning, when they talked to him before the game, I had posted it on my story being like, he's locked in. Looking back on it, he was rattled before it even started. Yeah. And I don't know. We're going to talk to Boomer this morning at 7. And there's talk about, he got shot up before the game in the shoulder. Apparently, he didn't turn that corner as hard as we thought he did.
I don't know. I'm not buying that one. Maybe he might have been dealing with something. I had said this when we were out there on Media Row, and we were talking about it before the game. What would I have liked to seen? Because we kind of know what Seattle likes to do. They like to play zone. They like to just rush for. I said, you know what? Get an empty. Get the ball out of his hands quickly. Empty is a little bit easier for the quarterback to read. You got your 3-step drop. Get the ball, whether it's screens, quick passes. I want to get in the weeds. Stick routes where the quarterback, where Drake Maye can just kind of dink and dunk. Go no huddle, not an up-tempo no huddle, but just a no huddle where you're not having giving the defense the opportunity to maybe substitute and maybe get him into some rhythm, because you saw when they did that on the Mac Hollins touchdown drive, there was a little bit more of a rhythm, and I wish they would have started the game like that.
Well, and I knew we were going to see this a lot. It's already coming through on the text line, 781 text. The game plan was painstakingly conservative, no fire, no energy, and I was interested in Shime's take on that, because you've been a game plan guy all season long when it comes to Drake Maye and the offense. What was your takeaway?
Yeah, it wasn't great, but it also wasn't the primary reason you lost the game. Like, the quarterback and the offensive line were just you can't win with that. You can't. It is what it is. Like, if you're gonna rank them, those two are at the top, and then third would be the play calling. Like, that's not the reason you lost. I didn't like some of it. I agree. I thought some of it was conservative, but at the same time, like, it felt like early they were playing like they were playing in the second half of the Denver game. Where they're like, yeah, like that run on 3rd and 5 early in that game. It's like, fine, we'll punt it away. The defense will get the ball back or whatever. And unfortunately, you also just couldn't convert anything on Sam Darnold. There were some opportunities to sack him. You couldn't get it. You couldn't force a turnover early there because clearly they were trying to jumping those routes, but it's not on the game planning. This is on the offensive line and the quarterback. That's it.
And the other thing is, Shime, you make great points. The narrative will be, this is a great defense. Drake Maye had no shot. Like, even if he goes well, the Seahawks were a spectacular defense that's going to be part of this NFL for years to come. Then what do you say about the MVP that everybody here said was a fraudulent MVP, that Drake Maye got screwed? Matthew Stafford, 2 weeks ago in the playoffs, against that defense.
Right.
22 of 35, 374 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So you can't come at me and talk about, that it was just this insurmountable obstacle of the defense. That defense against the guy you told me Drake was better than lost and put up 375 points, 375 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And you look at this, the person taking the victory lap is probably Cam Newton.
Right.
But when you look at the defenses, both defenses really kind of put those offenses in kind of like a blender. When you start to look at it, like Sam Darnold wasn't very good at all. Their running game, I think Kenneth Walker, he made some plays. He had 2 runs that really, I think one was for 29, the other one was for 30. But if you looked at, early in the game, they were kind of bottling him up a little bit. When you start, it was the undisciplined, letting him get outside, which led to that really long run. Yeah. So there were some of these plays where it was just the defense taking poor angles. But overall, if you look at what the defense was able to do and basically hold them to field goals, throughout that game, I was watching it and kind of having a conversation like, all right, we're only down by 6 points and our offense looks pathetic.
Right.
We're only down by 9 points and our offense looks horrible. We're only down by 12 points, and look at how bad our offense is looking. And a large part of that was because of what the defense was able to do for the most part for everybody else that wasn't named Kenneth Walker Jr.
Well, in the beginning of the game, I was saying, well, are we going to have another Sam Darnold seeing ghosts situation? Because the defense was tipping balls left and right. Like, he got away with a few bad passes. And if the defense was, if Gonzo was able to hold on to that ball, there were a few other guys who tip balls. If they were able to intercept those instead of just tip them, like, we could be having a different conversation today. But again, I don't want to say that because I don't want anyone to think I'm giving excuses. Friday, I came on this show and I ripped the national media for everybody going with the Seahawks and said, oh, and the Pats win. They're going to come in on Monday and have headlines just giving excuses of why the Pats won. There's no excuse for how we looked yesterday.
We were all wrong because I was like, okay. I was like, oh, it's going to come down to the play of the quarterbacks, and the quarterbacks are going to have to make these specific throws and make specific plays. And when you start to look at it, I mean, the touchdown that Sam Darnold threw, it was a great play design. The guy's wide open on a play action in the back corner of the end zone. I mean, anybody probably makes that throw. It came down to the fact that your offense, especially Drake Maye, and this offensive line could not do anything at all.
And that throw, the interception, I just saw it again behind you, Courtney. Like, that is Mickey Mouse crap. I even think it was on 1st and 10, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know who he was
throwing it to.
No.
I put that in my notes. I'm like, who the hell is he throwing this to?
He threw it like in between because he had the deep crosser that he was, if he was throwing it that, he was way behind.
Right.
Or he way overthrew Kayshon Boutte, who was the shallow crosser.
Yeah, I had no clue. I was like, who the hell is he throwing this to?
It was awful. It was just, I know Mondays, and especially, there's no easy way to have your season come to a thud like that last night. But the performances of the quarterbacks specifically, first of all, if Jets fans are out there, like, everybody's like, ooh, the Jets are screwed up losing Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's like talk about a passenger. I mean, he did what you need to do. He didn't make mistakes.
Yeah, he didn't turn the ball over.
But, I didn't watch that game and in any way think that Sam Darnold is this, great quarterback or up-and-coming guy. And the other is that I don't understand how you have McDaniels, Mr. Gadget guy. At some point, do you have anything?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Brother, he rolled him out of the pocket once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your offense couldn't do anything.
Yeah, dial up some trick plays, especially when your offense isn't going double passes, reverse pass, halfback pass, something like some trickery, and that was something that they didn't do at all. There was none of that. It was.
What about the punt? What do you think about Vrabel? It was 4th and 1. What was it? The third quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, because it was still a 2-possession game at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
12-0. No, I was fine with that. I felt like your defense had played so well. You're kind of out of halftime. They're not quite as tired as they were at the end of the second quarter. Punting there, I didn't mind. I thought Vrabel at that point handled it okay. I thought the 2-point conversion decisions were odd. I thought, but that I wasn't.
Yeah, because he was trying to flip the field on that. He was trying to maybe get them deep in, pin back deep, and he was hoping that because he knew his defense would have good enough to stop them, and then. Hopefully you get the ball in good field position and things become a little bit easier for your offense, and I think that's what he was trying to do.
On top of that, too, Wiggy, I know nobody cares about this. The punter mismatch in this game was massive. The chasm was giant. That Dixon guy could put the ball wherever he wanted when he punted that football.
Yeah, that one that I think Marcus Jones, he's got to field that one, and I think they had it twice inside the 5-yard line. He was able to punt it down there, but
and I thought the broadcast was fine. The best part of the broadcast for me was pregame with Rodney grilling Tony Dungy about the Belichick Kraft thing. But the first drive of the game, I believe, where Kupp catches the ball, and it looked to me like the ball was still moving in his hands. He did not maintain possession. He went out of bounds. Why wouldn't you challenge that? That was the first time all year where I feel like Mike Vrabel in that kind of a situation. Obviously, it doesn't matter in the end of the game they were going to lose, but I was shocked they didn't challenge that.
It's also crazy when you consider that the Seahawks offense was without JSN for a little bit of time because he was in the medical tent, then he was put back into the locker room. He did end up coming back out, but there was a period of time where they could have capitalized greatly on them missing one of their best guys out there on the field.
Yeah, and you're right about that, Courtney. I mean, defensively, you were doing a good job before he got. I think he hit his head on the ground before that, but there was a point in time where it's like, okay, we could be a little bit aggressive on defense because they don't have JSN, and then on offense, try to take advantage of this. But it came down to, and I would kind of agree with Shime, it came down to the player, your quarterback, and it came down to the player, your offensive line, and then you throw in the offensive coordinator on, maybe how we could have changed the game plan up a little bit differently throughout the game and maybe did things differently. It's now the biggest question is this, and I know it's only a second year, but this is going to be the national media, and this is the drum that they're going to be, because we talked to a lot of people down there on Media Row. The national media is going to go, okay, they're instantly going to go to the scheduling, right, for the regular season and Drake Maye's performance. But they're going to say, when Drake Maye goes against good defenses, what you've seen in the postseason, is that who he is? Because you look at his postseason run against 4 very good defenses, the offense, I mean, your best player was Ramondre Stevenson.
100%. But also you have to consider Drake was sacked the most in NFL history when it came to the postseason.
But I put a lot of those on him.
Yeah,
I really
part of those.
He was slow in the pocket. He was unaware. Something he had developed, I thought, over the season. He improved dramatically with his presence.
Yeah.
It was non-existent. And I just watch the interception that they keep talking about. I'm sure the guys didn't think about the camera, but did you see the faces of the defensive guys?
I was Curtis. Same thing with the fumble.
Yes.
It was when good on the camera guy because he went directly to them. Their faces, I mean, they're also beat at that point, and they looked pissed.
I mean, you got to think about this, and I don't know, and they put it up. They put it up last night. It was Joe Burrow and Drake Maye but the offensive line in 4 games. So I want to say they had 6 sacks last night, correct?
They did.
So the offensive line in 4 games gave up 20 21 sacks.
Correct.
21 sacks.
Yeah. Joe Burrow's record was 19.
You're basically averaging 5 sacks a game.
Yeah.
How do you expect to win? And part of it, and out of those 21, you'd have to really go back, like, what was coverage sacks or Drake holding on to the ball or what was O-line. But, it when you start to look at it, I would say that you could split it down the middle. 50% went to Drake and the other 50% went to, the offensive line.
And bad look on the offensive line. Take it with a grain of salt because it's a tweet from Ben Volen. But I guess Will Campbell was asked multiple times to meet with the media, and he declined and left.
I thought you were going to say Bad Bunny when you started stuttering with Bad.
No, don't bring up Bad Bunny. Yeah.
Hey, I didn't know what he was saying. I was shaking my ass.
I was on the wrong show.
Oh, no. I mean,
it was horrible. Yeah, that halftime.
I didn't think it was horrible.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I didn't understand any of it.
No, but the beats, I don't know. I was moving and grooving.
It's nice to have on in the background, I guess.
I mean, if you're going to go with the beats, then just throw a DJ up there.
Yeah.
I mean,
the biggest miss was Cardi B was right there. No mic in hand.
Yeah,
he has. You did get Lady Gaga, though.
Right. You did get Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin.
Yeah, which I was like, shocked. I was like, wait a second, who's that? And I was like, oh, damn, that's Ricky Martin. I was like, I didn't know they had a song.
Next year, they need to do William Hung, make it go full circle.
But so when you start to, and maybe I would switch that up because I think the biggest question, becomes they're going to need a little bit. They're going to definitely need a playmaker on offense, right? And I think the wide receiver group did an amazing job all year long, and I take nothing away from them. But I think you're going to need a legit playmaker that maybe defenses are going to have to game plan for, which maybe will help out your offense to do some different things. But the question I think nationally is going to be, who's the real Drake Maye?
It's not a question nationally. It's that he was exposed. The headline of the New York Post,
what it is?
Imposter syndrome, front page of the New York Post with Drake getting sacked. That
they're going to love it.
And the thing that sucks for Drake, and it's something we talked about now, because they went 14-3. They had a stellar regular season. He was number 2 in MVP voting.
Right.
Now, December 6th next year, the Patriots are 12-2. Everybody's going to say, okay, whatever, just call me in the playoffs. So the pressure, it's going to be another long regular season.
Well, the good thing about this, Curtis, though, is next year their schedule very difficult. So if he performs well during the regular season, he might be able to, not completely kind of take that narrative away. But they will say, because, you play Seattle during the regular season. Obviously, you're going to play Buffalo. You play Kansas City.
Yeah.
I think you play the Vikings there, Denver. So he's not going to completely be able to kind of erase that. But if he does well during the regular season, people will have a little bit more confidence in him going into the postseason. But you're 100% right, Curtis. Now it's going to be like, is he just going to be the A-Rod of baseball? Great regular season. All we do with Lamar Jackson. Great regular season, become the postseason. Where are you?
Yeah. Well, we'll be talking about Patriots all morning long. That was a tough loss. 29-13 was your final in the Super Bowl. We're going to talk to Boomer Esiason this morning at 7 a.m. They said it. We'll do it at 7:20. I believe Greg will be joining us at 7:30, and then he gets to choose whatever we do moving forward from there. I have news ready. I don't know if we're going to get to it because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to what happened in Santa Clara last night. It was a bloody, bloody day. That's the best way to say it.
I also curious, Courtney, let's say you're Greg, but you actually paid for the tickets. So you buy 2 tickets, call it $6,000 a piece.
Yeah.
You're sitting there in the third quarter. You're like, I spent $12,000
on this.
Oh my God, that's got to be miserable.
I think he lucked out. I don't think he had a.
No, he did not pay.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
Yeah.
But if you did buy them.
Yeah. And I think they were probably a little bit more than that if you were trying to get them down there.
Yes.
Really? Yeah. Oh yeah. There were some people that I know that were looking to get tickets, and it was like 10,000. Wow.
Well, and I want to hear about your week because you did a wonderful job on Media Row. You were getting all of the stars, and we were talking about it every single day because watching the Twitch stream of you guys out there, you were out of your seat. You were calling people. You were getting them over. So